A story about war, slavery, and cost of survival. Vinland Saga is not your typical anime. When the first season of Vinland Saga came out in 2019, your memories. Giving up everything. Hey! I quickly realized this is not just an anime about Vikings. It is a story about a world that survives on taking from land, freedom, and the lives of others. And instead of glorifying such a world, Vinland Saga tears it down piece by piece. It has quickly become one of the most praised anime of modern times, but also one of the most debated. From its first few episodes, it establishes a brutal truth. War is normal. Death is a routine. Battles are not heroic. They are prideful and transactional. Not to mention the glory of dying in battle and being taken to Valhalla. Villages are not raided out of hatred, but they are a necessity. People are bought, sold, and discarded as property. The world of Vinland Saga doesn't ask if violence is right, but it asks if violence is profitable. That's what makes Vinland Saga so different from many other anime. It doesn't present war as a spectacle, it presents it as an infrastructure. And our protagonist Thorfinn, he grows up within this system. As a child, war steals his family, his innocence, and his future. And by the time he's a teenager, he's already something worse than a soldier. He is a tool. In season 1, Thorfinn isn't chasing justice. He is chasing meaning in a world that took everything from him. Joining the ranks of his father's murderer with the hopes to finally take his head for himself. And slowly, he develops a mindset. Not only does he fight, but he fights because that is all he knows. He survives because survival is the only reward that war offers, allowing him to live one more day and another opportunity for him to take the head of his father's killer. And the anime refuses to soften that reality. Some of the series' most powerful moments aren't about combat, they are about consequence. The death of Thorfinn's father Thors sets the tone for the rest of the series. Where's my guy, Thors? I love you, man. Rest in peace. I love Thors, man. What a manly character. And even going up against death itself, Thors proved one thing. True strength rejects war, even when war demands it. He was a man who never needed a weapon to fight, but needed the love for his family. Not to kill, but to disarm. And then you get the man that murdered Thors, Ashalad. His leadership proves that cruelty and intelligence thrives in a violent system. And then you get the transformation of Prince Canute himself. His transformation reveals that power is born from fear and not righteousness. Going from a prince with pure intentions to a king that is incredibly corrupt. Although a lot of the criticisms of the series go to season 2 itself, I'd argue that season 2 delivers some of the hardest moments of them all. Thorfinn ending up as a slave, being stripped of a purpose, along with an identity, forced to live with the weight of every life he has taken. The nightmares he has, the faces of all his victims pulling him down to the abyss. It is one of the most haunting imagery I've seen within modern anime. And quite frankly, it is not his punishment. It is reality that is catching up. Another thing about season 2 is that it does not slow down, it mainly just changes perspective. For those who have seen it know that season 2 focuses more on farming and hard labor, but yet it exposes something very unsettling. Even those who aren't chained up are still trapped. Masters fear rebellion, slaves fear survival, and free men fear to lose everything to war. Thorfinn's realization of having no enemies isn't naive optimism. It is a rejection of the system itself. In a world that profits from hatred, refusing to hate is a revolutionary. Fans who love Vinland Saga praise it for its courage. It doesn't romanticize Vikings. It doesn't celebrate the conquest. It treats slavery and war as moral failures, not cultural traits. One could feel the characters feel painfully human. They make terrible choices, they justify unforgivable acts, and they live with the consequences. For many, the series feels less like entertainment and more like a meditation of history repeating itself. But with that comes many people who have been alienated. Many viewers expected more action, more battles, and somewhat of a revenge arc, a traditional one at that. And season 2's slower pacing frustrated a lot more viewers, mainly people that wanted a payoff through violence. Some people felt that Thorfinn became way too weak, whereas other people felt like the anime abandoned its Viking identity. And in a somewhat poetic way, that proves Vinland Saga's point. We are conditioned to expect war to be exciting and peace to be boring. And what the series ultimately says is that violence doesn't end conflict. War creates slavery, slavery creates resentment, and resentment creates war. Breaking that cycle does not require strength, but it requires sacrifice. Thorfinn's journey is not about becoming powerful, but becoming free in a world that doesn't value freedom. I am so glad that I finally got to finish Vinland Saga. As I mentioned prior, I only watched the first season and was not aware that a season 2 came out. But one thing's for sure, Vinland Saga is not a comfortable anime. It asks you to sit with suffering, to question why is violence entertaining, to consider how easily humanity justifies cruelty. You don't have to love it, but as long as it made you feel a certain way, that is all that matters. And stories that linger are the ones that are worth telling. What are your thoughts on Vinland Saga? Did you watch it? Did you watch half of it? Did you end up completing it? I'd love to know your thoughts within the comment section down below. And what are your thoughts about the series shift from war to slavery? I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Or did y'all just miss the chaos of war? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll be sure to be back with another video real soon. Peace.
If I talk like this,